start off with a blank template, it doesn't matter which one, and head over to Elements and select a shape. And we're going to select a circle. Make sure it's nicely centered in your template by aligning it with the purple lines. You can edit the color of your circle, it really doesn't matter, it just depends on your personal preferences. I love this turquoise color. And now I'm going to copy the circle so that we end up with 2, and you'll find out why in just a minute. Now, alter the transparency so that you can see the 2 circles very, very clearly. And you'll see why again in just a minute. Now, resize one of the circles so that it sits right in the center of the bigger circle. Just change the transparency again. Make sure it's centered. Now head over to the text tab, click on it so that you bring up a text box in the center, like that. Make sure it's centered, and I'm just going to add a little bit of text. So Canva curved text, I think is quite appropriate. Head over to the tab at the top to change the size if you want. That's a little bit too big, so I'm going to change it a little bit and make it smaller. Now, there's no easy way around doing this, so what you have to do is you have to copy and paste each individual letter. That sounds like a really laborious kind of step, but actually when you get used to it, it doesn't take very long at all. So I'm just creating individual letters, as you can see there. And so I don't bore you too much, I'm just going to speed this all up for you. And there you have all the completed letters. In a past tutorial, I showed you how to lock elements so that they don't move around accidentally. So I'm just going to lock these circles by heading over to the top right hand corner and clicking the little lock icon. And you'll see why shortly why this is quite an important step. So those 2 circles are now locked, and I can select the whole of my text now and move it around, but I can still select the individual letters and move them separately. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see really clearly what I'm going to do next. I'm going to select the letter C. I'm going to grab these curved arrows and I'm going to just move that to the side and just zoom in a little bit more so it's really, really clear. So I've moved that, and I'm going to just move the N out the way. Now I'm going to grab the curved arrows and I'm going to move the A as well, and you can see what I'm doing now. This is why it's so important to have 2 circles, because I'm aligning each letter with the inner and outer circles so that you get the curve exactly right. So the bottom of the letters needs to sit right on the inner circle. I think you can get the idea now. It just takes a little bit of patience, but as I say, once you get used to doing this, you can do it really, really quickly. Unfortunately, there isn't a workaround at the minute. We have asked Canva, and we are trying to get Canva to set up some curved text, but so that might be in the pipeline very shortly. I will let you know. So I'm just going to speed this up again for you, because I think you've got the idea by now. Don't worry if the text isn't exactly centered, because there is a workaround, and I'll show you how to do this now. So you're going to select all the text and just move it. Change the curve and position it again. You might have to, I'll just zoom in so you can see again, you might have to tweak the letters slightly just to make sure that they sit on these circles again. It's just a tiny tweak, just make sure it looks good. You get the idea anyway. So now that we've aligned all the letters, we can do without the circles. So what you're going to do is you're going to head over to the top right hand corner and unlock your circles so that you can actually delete them. I'm going to keep the inside circle because I'm going to change it. I'm going to make another copy. I'm going to make a slightly smaller copy that sits inside the bigger version again. I'm going to make it a white circle and just change the transparency so that it's totally opaque. There you go. And I'm going to change the colour of the larger circle, make it a grey one. Then I'm going to head back over to the left hand side and select elements, and I'm going to choose a square, resize it, zoom out a little bit so you can get a better idea of what I'm doing, resize the square and make that white as well. So you can just see what I've done there. The text is still slightly, it's not quite centered, but you get the idea anyway. You can tweak that. And now I've done the text, I'm just going to play around with it just to show you what you can do with your curved text. Let me know what you think of today's Canva creative tip. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next week.